lollygagging and not block hold up, I'm going to be upset if I'm any other receiver in that room. And here's this one right here. Just let me go through the motions. I'm not getting the football. Let me just jog through things. It all comes down to this, Greeny. They're trying to change the culture in Dallas. You cannot be one-dimensional in this league. Brian Schottenheimer is trying to run the football. You want to know who's a part of the run game as well? The wide receivers, when quarters coverage is there and that safety is coming down to knock that running back out, the receiver must do his job. What if that running back breaks free and your guy is the man tackling the play every time? You don't want to be that guy in the film room. For a guy to be in a contract year and to take plays off, I don't like it. I played the game with Roddy White and Julio Jones. You know what those two guys took pride in doing? Blocking damn DBs when they had the opportunity. You want to know why our receiver group was one of the most feared one in the National Football League? Because we're not.
Listen up, Cowboys Nation, because this right here is the heart of the matter. They're not just talking about X's and O's. They're talking about culture, identity, what it means to wear the star on your helmet. Did you hear that? You cannot be one-dimensional in this league. You cannot just run routes when the ball is coming your way. You've got to sell out, you've got to block, you've got to bring the fight every single snap. Because when that safety comes downhill to take out your running back, if you don't do your job, if you jog through the motions, if you take a play off, then you are letting your team down. This is what separates average teams from great ones. It's not just the highlight plays, it's the dirty work that never shows up on the stat sheet. You heard the names: Roddy White, Julio Jones, legends, not just because they caught passes, but because they took pride in knocking defensive backs into the dirt, because they understood that trust is earned snap after snap, sacrifice after sacrifice. That's the culture Dallas is trying to build right now under Brian Schottenheimer. And here's the thing. This is a contract year for some guys. Every play you put on tape is a job interview. Do 31 other teams look at you and say, I want that guy? Or do they look at you and say, he takes plays off, he can't be trusted? That's the pen in your hand. That's your legacy being written in real time. Cowboys Nation, this is the moment. This is about more than numbers, more than schemes. It's about pride, accountability, and trust. If every man in that locker room buys in, if every wide receiver takes pride in doing the dirty work, if every defender holds his brother accountable, this team can become unstoppable. And I'll tell you this, when that star is on your helmet, you don't get to toast. You don't get to loaf. You represent the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, and that means you fight for every blade of grass. You bring that mindset, and suddenly the defense feeds off it, the offense feeds off it, and the culture changes. That's what wins championships. So Cowboys Nation, do you believe? Do you think this team can embrace that warrior mentality and show the league what Dallas football is all about? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you want to see the stars shine brighter than ever, and subscribe right now because we're just getting started.
This just happened, Cowboys Nation, and it's not a drill. Dallas brought Jadeveon Clowney into the Star this week. He visited, took a look around, had the conversations, and left without signing. But here's the twist. The Cowboys are still in contact with him. This is very real, and it's very now. Real talk, I'm not shocked the front office moved fast here. 2 weeks removed from the Micah Parsons blockbuster, the Cowboys have a massive, obvious hole at closer off the edge. You don't replace Micah with one guy. You replace him with roles, waves, and smart money. Jerry's been saying it all week. This is about reallocating resources across multiple pieces, not clinging to one megastar. And yes, he doubled down on the logic behind the trade publicly. Let's set the table so we're all on the same page. The Parsons deal netted 2 first-round picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark, a legit interior anchor to pair with Osa, giving you real bite inside while you figure out the edge math on the fly. This is important when we talk about Clowney because his best value in 2025 is as a fit and a front that already squeezes the pocket inside, then lets him clean up outside with power, length, and run discipline. That's the exact ecosystem Dallas is building post-Micah. Now money talk, because I know you're going to ask, can we afford this? Short answer, yes. Multiple trackers put Dallas near the top of the NFL in available 2025 cap right now. Over the cap shows the Cowboys sitting around $38.4 million in space. Spot Track pegs it just over $39 million. That's plenty of room for one veteran pass rusher and then some. Translation, Dallas can structure a one-year incentive-heavy Clowney deal and still keep ammo ready for a second signing, corner, safety, or even interior OL depth without mortgaging 2026. So why Clowney specifically? Because the role is screaming for a power rusher who can set an edge on early downs, reduce inside on certain looks, and still win one-on-one when quarterbacks are forced to hitch off Kenny Clark's interior push. When Clowney is fresh and used correctly, snap managed, put in problem-solving situations, not asked to be a 60-snap superhero, he can tilt drives. Dallas knows this. That's why they had him in the building, and it's why, even after he left without a deal, they kept the line open. Reports said the Cowboys wanted to sign him. Clowney's camp is simply taking a patient, selective approach and weighing fits. That's a stare down, folks. Here's what makes this even spicier. Optics. Fans are heated watching Micah erupt in green and gold while we're trying to figure out the new pass rush math. Jerry hears it. Still, he's not blinking and he's not apologizing. He believes reallocating cap and picks is the best shot to maximize Dak's window this season and next. That's the pitch. And Clowney is a classic bridge signing that fits the philosophy. A veteran plug-in who can raise your floor right now while the long-term plan, 2 firsts in 2026, 2 firsts in 2027, and Kenny Clark today, plays out. Let me paint the on-field picture so you can see it. 3rd and 7, late second quarter, defense shows 5 across. Osa shaded, Kenny Clark head up, Clowney wide to the tight end, mugged backers sugaring the A-gap. You force the slide to Clark because he's eating guards alive. That leaves Clowney with a true one-on-one versus a tired tackle who just passed off a stunt. That is where JD wins. Long arm to forklift, rip, squeeze the pocket right into Clark's lap. Force throw, tip, pick, stadium pops. That's the vision the front office is chasing with this visit. And because it's Dallas, we got to hit the business angle. If I'm the Cowboys, the clean structure is 1 year, low base, play time plus sack incentives, and per-game roster bonuses so you protect yourself if he misses time. Perfect sweet spot. A commitment that shows respect to the resume and rewards production, while you keep flexibility for the next move, a veteran nickel, for example, and the inevitable deadline window when prices drop. The cap situation supports this strategy today. One more layer. Vibes in the building after week 1. The tape said it. Dallas generated moments of pressure, but not enough finishing heat off the edge to swing the game. You don't need Micah-level chaos to fix that. You need dependable edges who win their one-on-ones at a decent clip and finish. Clowney's profile, paired with Clark's interior gravity, is exactly the kind of incremental addition that makes your third down package coherent tomorrow morning, not in January. That's why this visit matters more than the usual late summer tire kicking. And look, I know the emotions are raw. Packers fans literally chanted at Jerry last night. He stood there and said he doesn't regret the move because he believes this path raises the Cowboys' championship odds once the follow-up moves land. If Clowney becomes move number 1, it sends the signal Dallas is adding, not moping. That's exactly what this locker room and this fan base need to feel right now. Smash the like if you still believe in Dak's window this year. Sound off in the comments. Do you sign Clowney today? Yes or no? And tell me your number. What's the max dollars you put on a 1-year deal? Cowboys Nation, real talk. This move makes football sense if the number is right. Why? Because Matt Eberflus doesn't ask one superhero to do everything. He builds roles and wins with structure. 4-man rush, zone-heavy shells, line games, and takeaways baked into his HITS DNA. That's his whole thing. Hustle, intensity, takeaways, smart. And it's now the Cowboys thing in 2025. The fit. How Clowney actually helps tomorrow. On early downs, Clowney lives as a strong side edge who sets a hard edge versus outside zone and power, funnels runs to help and squeezes gaps when Eberflus calls stunts. That's money in a single gap fill and spill world. You're trying to earn 3rd and 7. That's Clowney. On passing downs, keep him wide, 7-on-9 to force oversets, then hit his long arm and inside rip. When the OL jumps his power, reduce him inside 3-tech next to Kenny Clark and Osa and run T-games. You're manufacturing one-on-ones, not hoping for them. Eberflus will call the games, Clark's gravity creates the pictures. Where the roster is today, With DeMarcus Lawrence in Seattle, your current edge room is Sam Williams and Dante Fowler Jr. as the primary bookends, with Marshawn Kneeland mixing in. Peyton Turner's on IR. Adding Clowney gives you a power rusher to stabilize the strong side and lets you snap manage everybody. Snap math. Use him to finish, not to survive. Clowney is best at 30 to 40 snaps in a week, roughly 45 to 55% usage, with defined situations. Strong side early downs, plus third down packages where he can long arm guards or bully a tired tackle. That's money in a single gap filling spill world. You're trying to earn 3rd and 7. That's Clowney. Why it's specifically better here than on a random team? Because the interior is real now. The Parsons trade hurt, but it also gave you Kenny Clark, a legit pocket compressor to pair with Osa Odigizua. That interior duo is exactly what makes a role player like Clowney feel bigger than his box score. QBs can't step up when Clark is walking a guard back. That's when a power edge cashes. And yes, that trade return is confirmed. Clark plus 2 first-rounders, 2026, 2027. The money and why this is easy today. Dallas has room right now in the $38.4 million over the cap to $39.1 million spot track cap space range for 2025. You can do a 1-year incentive-heavy deal this afternoon without touching your 2026-27 flexibility. That aligns perfectly with Jerry's public stance after the trade. Reallocate, add 5 or 6 players, don't overcommit. Template I'd offer a 1-year $3.5 to $4.5 million base plus up to $2 to $3 million in incentives, sacks, playtime, per-game actives, per-game roster bonuses, protects you on availability. No or low guarantees in 2026. Voidable. Keep books clean. Why that number? His recent deal set the market. $2.5 million base, Ravens 2023, with incentives, then a bigger 2-year $20 million shot in Carolina, released this spring, now back to Street FA. In 2025, with Dallas's leverage and his fit need, $4 to $6 million total reachable is fair. The rotation, what you'll actually see. Base 4-3 versus 11-12 personnel. Clowney, strong side end. Clark, Osa, Fowler, weak side end. Williams rotates in for Fowler. Kneeland sprinkles on rundowns. Your stout strong side, still athletic weak side. 3rd and medium, 5-man creeper looks. Fowler or Clowney off the edges, Clark and Osa inside, mug a backer in the A-gap to force the slide. If they slide to Clark, Clowney gets the one-on-one you want. 3rd and long or NASCAR. Kick Clowney to 3-tech next to Osa, keep Fowler and Williams wide. Run TEET games, let Clark rest for red zone. Red zone. Clowney's power and length squeezes split zone and boots. He forces higher, wider throws into your zone windows. Prime Eberflus football. The risk versus the reward. No sugarcoating. Risks. He's 32 and his best usage is snap managed. He's not a bendy closer like peak Micah. If you ask him to be a 60-snap chaos merchant, you'll be disappointed. Rewards. You immediately raise the floor on early downs, improve your nickel rush plan, and let Clark plus Osa's interior pressure actually convert to stops. He also teaches the room, Kneeland and Williams, how to play with a plan. And if he hits a late season stride, you've got deadline flexibility to add one more piece elsewhere, slot CB or safety, because the contract is light. Where it stands and why the stare down is okay. He visited, he left without a deal, and Dallas is still in contact. Reports out of the Star say the team wanted to sign him. Clowney is waiting, shopping fit and timing. That's fine. If the number holds and nobody outbids at the deadline, this is the classic sign on a Thursday, play 20 snaps on Sunday veteran edition. The why now after the Micah trade. Jerry's been clear, no regrets, and the path is breadth over singular star. Clark inside, extra picks banked, and targeted vets to keep Dak's window hot this year. Clowney, as move number 1, broadcasts that message to the locker room. We're adding, and we're not done. Bottom line, if the Cowboys land Clowney on a smart 1-year incentive-heavy deal, he becomes a role star in Eberflus's system. Not a Micah replacement, but the right chess piece next to Kenny Clark and Osa to fix 3rd down immediately. And with roughly $38 to $39 million in cap, you can still stack 1 or 2 more vets after him. Smash the like if you'd sign him today at $4 to $6 million all in. Sound off. Which package do you like more? Wide 9 Clowney on the edge or 3-tech Clowney next to Clark on 3rd and long? Cowboys Nation, here's my real talk. I'm signing Jadeveon Clowney tonight if he takes the right structure. Not because he's Micah, he isn't, but because he fixes 2 problems at once. Sturdy edge on early downs and a credible pocket squeezer on money downs when you line him up next to Kenny Clark or Osa. That's the exact role over superhero formula this staff needs right now.